The money market fund this week saw a slight drop compared to the last review that we did, and being the middle of the month of June, we want to see which are those top performing fund managers currently, and also to check out on your company na pia compare with others. And remember, we do track our investments every other week right here on MoneyVersations, so please do not miss out on the upcoming videos. In the meantime, yes, the inflation rate did drop. Of course, that's a good thing bana, because you see recently tumekuwa tukisikia stories are dropped here, dropped there, even in the police cells and the streets, lives are being dropped. Immediately you hear the word dropped, you're like, everything is dropping. But this drop in inflation is the only good drop, I think. So the rate, yeah, inflation dropped from 4.1% to 3.8%. And on the other side, I know you have also noticed that the central bank rate also dropped, which is also a good thing for businesses and economy as well in general, even though it is going to mean that fixed deposits and the savings accounts are going to be returning slightly less than previously. And yes, of course, that's how it is, because it has to balance out. Yeah, when the rates were very high, the borrowers were paying so much for their loans, and the high cost would be thrown back to the consumers as well. But then Kenyans have the habit of not lowering prices when costs ama rates drop, but ikipanda wanapanda nayo chap chap. We shall see how the money market funds respond to this over the coming few days. But in the meantime, the treasury bills, on the other hand, they did see a slight drop compared to our last review, and this time I think we can now say we are officially in the single digit zone. Investors seem not to have been impressed by the rates, especially in the 364 and 182 days option, as you can see, with the undersubscription noted here against what the government wanted. And this is because of the rates probably, where they returned 9.75 and 8.49% respectively. The 3-month option was actually oversubscribed almost 3 times, yeah, more than what they wanted, but the rate was 8.17. And going by this, it seems that we must be approaching 7% neighborhood very soon. And now, going over to the United States dollar money market funds, things look good on this side of town. The greens, you can see, they are more than the reds, indicating that there was more growth than decline. The leading company is still above 6%, and that is Etica, which recorded 6.13%, same consistency, followed by Kuza, which made a huge recovery and returned from position 10, where it was at the last review, to position 2, while Jubilee, that was previously at position 2, dropped all the way to position 9. Drama, up down. CIC, which was recently overtaken by Sanlam as the giant collective investment scheme, also dropped from position 5 and went all the way down to position 10. The averages on this category are still very great and around the same spot that they were several months back. By the Ecuador and things have not changed that much. Moving over to the fixed income funds, this seems to have been a very slow week. Yes, slightly slower, because out of the 9 fund managers, only 2 are in green, and red dominated the rest. Etica is still leading in this category, even though there was a slight drop, but then still returning very impressively at 13.77%. I think that is good. Kuza followed, and Zimele came in third at 12.73%. And CBS still the only company returning a single-digit return for a fixed income fund category. But of course, maybe tunaelewa, it's probably because it's not their core business, perhaps. Anyway, moving over to the money market funds in the Kenya shillings, there was a slight drop in the average this week, moving it down to the 10% region, and that is 10.79% average to be exact. The rates are still very good. Continue fattening the cow. Accumulate as much as you can, my friend. Usidanganywe. Money gives you options. Don't wait for things to change by themselves. Please try and take the lead. That little by little, that one yenye unaona is very kidogo, is making a difference. And of course, if you are unfaithful with the little, you don't want to manage it well when it is kidogo, how will you be trusted with more? Alama ya duku duku. Anyway, 9 companies are in the single digit zone this week. CIC, Cooperative Money Market Fund, and the Ganges just joined the singles club this week. Gulf Cup has refused to move from this spot, so next week kama bado rate ni hiyo hiyo, usipoona kwa hii list, just know they retained, and we have to wait for them, yeah, till watuonyeshe that they are a money market fund, alafu tutawarudisha kwa group ama ni aje. This week only 4 companies had an increase as shown in the greens, and there were a few changes up and down in the chart. Only 8 companies recorded above 12% returns this week, majority playing around 10% and 11%. So please grow your account if you have opened your account. Focus on the goal that you have and ignore the noise around, oh, sijui this and that. Sahi, being deliberate about changing your financial future should be your focus. Let there be no one out here without savings whatsoever. And even though the year is almost half spent, you can still start now and make a difference. Whatever you do, break that poverty cycle. Maze, like, kata kabisa, by all means. Find every useful link to open or start your investment journey below. My name is Otachi. Thank you so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you in the next video.